Hey there, I am Trenton, and today at JTech I'll be teaching you power flow through a Foxy manual transmission. I'll be teaching you how the power is transmitted from the engine through the gears and to the rear end. So I'll be teaching you how power flows from the engine to the rear end. So this is the main shaft, the input, and here's the output of the shaft. And here, the second shaft is the counter shaft. This main shaft, first gear, will always be the biggest, and it'll always match up with the smallest gear on the counter. And that'll be, on this one, a 4-to-1 ratio. And here's these are shift forks and shift or gear sliders, or I don't know the true name, but basically they slide and mesh up with the synchros to engage the gears. So first gear would just slide over when the synchros are matched up, and it would just activate, and the power flow would come in, go to this gear, come down, up, come to this gear, back to, this will be the first gear, and then out the tail end of the transmission. Second gear would be a 3-to-1, which power flow will come in, come this gear, come down, come to this gear right here, to this one, and out. And that would be my first one was 4-to-1, this will be a 3-to-1. And then second gear would slide over on this synchro, power will come in, come down, come over, come back up to this gear. And that is a 2-to-1. And then for a 1-to-1 ratio, it would just lock in on this gear, come in, come down, come all the way over and come back up, and basically both shafts are spinning at the same speed. And for the fifth gear, which is an overdrive ratio, basically it allows for your input shaft, it allows for your output shaft to spin faster than the input shaft for fuel economy. And then slides, and that'll be the fifth gear. And then reverse would be this tiny little gear right here, which would just sort of slide in, and it's just a very low gear ratio because you really don't have to go fast in reverse. And basically, that's the power flow of the transmission. It just input comes out, or input comes down, comes back up, then out. So the one thing that is interesting with a manual transmission, when you are in neutral, if you notice, turning the input shaft, only the gears are spinning and not the synchros themselves. It applies all the way. But once you turn the output shaft in neutral, the synchros turn and the gears stay still. So when you put it into gear, that's when on the input shaft, the shift collar will actually mesh together the synchro and the gear itself. Gear right here and the synchro, it slides together and covers both of them and basically connects them. So basically when you turn the input, both the input and the output will be turning while in gear.